Hi. So today's topic that I wanted to talk about is how to, that feeling when you're really stuck to a connection and you don't feel like you can move forwards and you feel like you're pining away and nothing's moving, nothing's happening. What can unstick this? Now, living from your truth is really what these connections are all about. It's funny because in relationships, I call it the power ball in a way that you sort of throw over the net, and somebody in the relationship dynamic has the power ball. Unless you're in a union, someone is holding the ball, so to speak. And whilst sometimes I feel that people think you're holding the ball if you have the power, i.e., if you're the one not messaging, you're the one holding back, you're the one that's unavailable. And this is what a lot of dating sites encourage and a lot of dating blogs. It's like, oh, ignore, just block it out, and then the person will be chasing you all the time. And this is the way that we're being encouraged to go. But this isn't really holding any kind of power, because you're still living in a constant state of fear of, oh my God, if I suddenly become available, will that person still want me? It is attracting people because most people are wounded. There's very few people that have cleared and integrated all of their wounds and abandonment issues. So obviously, if you're connecting to somebody who has any form of abandonment issue or some other kind of issue and you pull away from them, you are going to trigger something in them, and you are going to trigger them to chase you. So it works. So then these things work, and then everybody thinks, oh, they work, so they keep doing them. And they have this really successful routine of getting people to chase them who have wounds and issues that don't like to be left. And because it works, people continue doing these over and over again, but it never really leads to a truly intimate connection, because it's all based on runner and chaser dynamics and duality. So to really have a true intimate connection, it's not about having the power ball, it actually becomes about having the truth ball. And it's really about having the power, and it seems weak to be the one that might message your truth or message your feelings or message whatever you're feeling in the moment. But actually, it's really the place of the power. It's the power ball, really, because you're the one that's not living in pain. You're not living in wondering. You're not wondering what this other person's thinking. You are actually just living from a place of truth and authenticity, which will release you. I don't know if you've ever had the experience where you've expressed your truth and you felt lighter, you felt freer, you felt happier, you felt more free of the connection. And you might not have gotten the result that you wanted, but this is an energetic connection. Soul connections, twin flame connections, you bring to you what you are inside. You have to have an inner union for you to be in an outer union. So it's all about energy. You can't go backwards. There's a big holdback on this journey, is the fear that you can lose something. But everything is within, and you can't lose what's within. You can maybe lose it for a bit, and in the grand scheme of 3D things, you can seem like it's gotten further away, but your true union can only ever get closer. And once you really fully believe that, then it will affect the way you are, because you'll no longer be afraid of making certain decisions, of doing certain things, of pushing somebody away, because you'll realise that actually all these things are just sort of 3D things, and they're a fake appearance of what's going on. And the true reality is, the more that you clear and the more you integrate your ego through rounds of triggering and healing, the closer you are actually getting to union. So a big hold up on this journey is actually the fear that if you express your feelings, the fear that if you do something, you might push it away or you might lose it forever. Yet it's quite a strange thing to believe, that you're believing in a very metaphysical union of souls, and you believe you have telepathic contact, you believe that it's an energetic journey, you believe that everything goes on in high dimensions, yet all of a sudden lose all of that completely and fear like one small action in the 3D or sentence over a message will ruin the whole union forever for life. Now, it just can't happen because you can only go, you can only evolve, you can only mirror back what's in your soul, and you can only bring in what's reflecting that. And you can't go backwards, you can only grow forwards. And sometimes, yeah, you take some steps forward and then everything seems to fall apart and you then have more to integrate and more to purge. But it's not a case of going backwards, it's just a case that you are hitting another layer, so to speak. It's like an onion and you keep layering it, so you're hitting another layer that needs to be purged, and you need to go through that. So I feel like such a big block on this journey is a fear of loss. And that goes back to the original split when obviously we did lose. And it's that fear of having that again. And it holds people back for years and years and years and years. I mean, something that I found that really is amazing is just literally expressing your truth. And it took me a long time to do it. I was so afraid of expressing, and I was so terrified of being rejected. Mine wasn't actually abandonment. I had such deep rejection issues that I would rather not be rejected and not put it out there, and than I would put it out there and be rejected. And it's almost like the pain has to get so bad that actually it sort of switches and you think, oh, I can't live like this another day long. I actually would rather go through the rejection than live in this like no man's land for any longer. So I feel like this kind of no man's land is where we are when we are so afraid of an outcome that we can't express our full truth. And when I say truth, I mean everything. I mean, your truth is love, but in the moment, it's not always that, you know? If you're hurt, it's about being able to express your truth and your feelings. If you're hurt, just say you're hurt, why you're hurt, you know? A lot of people can sort of end up in this slightly doormatty, don't mean that in a disrespectful way, energy, simply because of fear of calling someone out or expressing a distaste or a way that someone's actions make them feel. But you've kind of got this ball, I call it the ball of truth, and you can do with it what you want. You can keep hold of it, but it's like when you keep hold of it, it almost causes you agony. It's like a hot burning coal of truth that if it's not expressed, it kind of burns you away. And then once you throw it to someone else, and it's kind of them burning them away until they can throw it back to you. So you've kind of gotten rid of your truth. You've expressed your feelings, and then it's all on the other person, and that's not your responsibility because that's up to them how they take it. All you can do is clear yourself. So our only responsibility this lifetime isn't to like help people, it's to clear ourselves, and then that may in turn help other people, but it is just to simply clear ourselves. If someone else is a problem for us, that's our problem. If someone else is a problem to themselves, or you're a problem to someone else, that's their problem. Because it's all about what we're attracting into our experience. So we only have to clear ourselves. So we just need to do whatever we need to do to clear ourselves. And that's what I think you have to think in every situation. Like if something's uncomfortable, if you don't know what somebody else is thinking, if you just feel like you've been in no man's land for a long time, then the way to get out of it is to clear yourself. Do whatever you need to do to clear yourself. Patience is a great thing when there's a time for patience, but if you're sitting there patiently waiting for kind of 35 years, then it's gone beyond patience, because you've just been clinging on to this inability to move forwards. Like there should always be a path, a way to move forwards. And if there is no path or way to move forwards, then there's something you need to do to clear yourself. And quite often that is to express a truth, whether that's, you've really hurt me, or you've been silent, did I upset you, or that's up to you to go into your intuition and work out what it is and how you need to move forwards. But I just feel a lot of the time people end up holding on to their ball of truth, and it's just burning and burning and burning away from them over time. And they sort of say, oh, well, I'm not going to go there because, I need to move on. But they're not really moving on because they're just sort of trying to sort of fakely move on whilst their total soul and heart is somewhere else. And then they're going off and living this life experience whilst still having this connection to another that they haven't rounded off. And if you've got a connection to somebody else and you're getting pulled to somebody else, they're there to teach you something, they're there to show you something. And They're there to show you where you lack connection to yourself, because everybody that comes into your experience is showing you your connection to yourself, how you treat yourself. It's why when you self-focus, people tend to come around you because you're focused on yourself, so other people are focused on you. When your energy is constantly out there focusing on other people, other things, that's what will happen as well. People will focus on themselves. So people are responding to you, how you treat yourself and how your connection is to yourself. So if you have this huge pull to somebody, it's working out what it's trying to show you, where your connection is out of line with yourself, and bringing that awareness to it so you can integrate it and move into a different experience. But there's no such thing as, I don't believe, being stuck in a situation with no path forwards. When you're in that situation, it's about working out how to get out of it. And very often it is this fear of being truthful, fear of being honest, fear of, because of so many different reasons, like that you'll lose, that you'll be abandoned, that you'll be rejected, whatever your core issue is, that's generally your fear. And the only way to get out of that is through it and integrating it and pushing through. So whenever you think of what your biggest fear in a situation is, that's generally what you need to do. And sometimes it can take a bit of working out. So if you've got a connection, even if, sometimes you can't deal with it with them because they're not engaging. So you then have to go and look at how you can, what they're mirroring you, what they're showing you, and how you can go and experience that in your own life. And if someone's legitimately not responding to you and is ignoring your messages, then obviously you can't just keep hammering at the door. Then you have to think, how am I completely lost focus on myself? Where have I completely lost myself that I'm creating this like runner-chaser dynamic? But if somebody is engaging with you, but it's kind of stuck and nothing's happening, nothing's changing, then that's when I say it's about having this ball of truth and it's kind of firing it over the net and then having the patience. Then you just leave it be. You've told your truth, you've expressed it, you've kind of passed the ball over to the other person, and then it's up to them how they're going to respond to it. And that is when that's none of your business. How they respond to your truth is none of your business. That's all their business. All your business is expressing it, because it's clearing you of their hold on you. Because a lot of the time, the hold that these connections, especially soul connections, have on you is they have the hold that you're not able to fully express your truth out of fear, and it kind of keeps you trapped and it keeps you in prison. And as soon as you've done it, it may not even go favourably for you, but you will find that you get clearer, lighter, because the whole journey is about coming into your truth and learning to live in your truth. Being able to express when you're hurt, being able to express how their actions made you feel, being able to express that you care about them. All these things are expressing your feelings, and once they're out, they can be integrated. I mean, if you can do that on your own, then fair enough. But a lot of the time I find that we need to express them. We need to get them out, and then they are integrated, and then we can move beyond them and through them. So I just felt this video really important, and you will really find that it clears yourself. As soon as you can be truthful and stand in your truth, it will clear you, and you'll find that even if you get a result that you didn't want, you will start to feel lighter, and then you're only moving closer to union because you're clearing your soul. And you're starting to live in your truth, and you're starting to exist in your truth. I found that time and time again over my journey, like it was so hard for me to express things that I would have rather hid from them. And you might still be messaging away to that person, but you're really hiding from the truth. And as soon as you can get into the pattern of expressing that and being open, you'll find that everything changes. My dynamics completely switched after I became okay with that, and I started to integrate and heal a lot quicker, and I started to have completely different experiences within this journey. That's just something that I wanted to put out there, and yeah, hope everyone's good, and bye for now.